Alright, I am back. This is part 2. That guy pulling into my driveway randomly so that he could turn around was actually really good timing because it made my dogs freak out, which made me end the stream in time so that YouTube would not block this upload. YouTube has blocked several of the uploads, so if you see this video and you see a bunch of others missing, like part 1s or part 2s of other videos, yeah, YouTube is just a jerk in general and won't let me upload them unless I give them a cell phone number. And I have a cell phone, I just don't... Yeah, I mean, why give it to YouTube? What are they going to do with it? Sext me? I don't need sexts from YouTube. Is that awkward? Wow. So, I'm not too sure if this was cost-effective for Tweeka or not. It doesn't look like it. Ugh, nope, it was. Very cost-effective attack. The infestors didn't quite have enough fungal growth yet. So that's what I would chalk that up to. So Tweeka still has an economic advantage, but infestors, sneaky infestors moving in across the map. You can kind of see the burrow animation going down there. But unless Tweeka's watching very carefully, or just kind of has a gamer sense that tells him that infestors are burrowed and on the way, he probably won't be that prepared for this. He does have a hive up, or a lair, so that means that he can get the overseers when he needs them. And HashWreck is now back on top of his economy. If you check the spending tab, you can see that overall they've collected about the same amount of resources. So they're pretty much on even footing, except for HashWreck has a slightly better economy. And actually no, Tweeka's a little bit behind, but that doesn't make sense to me. I'm just going to let it go and accept that Tweeka is a little bit behind. He's way behind in the supply department, but that could be because he's massing up on Zerglings and really not much else. Okay, I see. He's so far behind in army supply because of this. And he says, bad word, Tweeka. No, we don't say that in a public cast. And HashWreck has learned from past mistakes and he's built roaches. So this is really going to be one of Tweeka's pretty much last-ditch attacks. Last time he kind of just let all of those drones die. He really needs to move these drones. Whenever people tell me that they're drunk while playing in-game, I have trouble believing that because a lot of people who play at this level of play can't really play drunk, and I have seen some drunk people. I will not share whether I have done such myself, but I mean, at this level of play, you're not doing this while being trashed. And I missed that. Cute. Let's go back to that. And we have them moving in. And we're still at normal speed because slow motion makes everything more intense. Oh, huge Baneling hits there, and I don't want to call this wrong, but I believe that it was Liquid Sheth who used this style. In ZVZs, he will build Banelings against almost any ground-based army. His reasoning behind that is most players in ZVZs are not used to needing to split up units such as roaches. Sometimes they'll try to do minimal splitting of Hydralisks if someone has a bunch of Banelings and is using the Banelings against Hydralisk, but most players don't go Hydralisks in a ZVZ anyway. So he would build Banelings knowing that they weren't really going to be trying to use roaches, or they weren't going to be splitting their roaches. And just because the roaches are such tightly packed units, Banelings can be cost-effective versus roaches if they get lots and lots of splash damage. And the reason they're so good is, if you have a group of 4 or 5 Roaches, I don't believe, have Smart Fire, and I watched one of Sheth's streams where he did this. He just took about 6 Banelings and just drilled right into the roaches, and all of the roaches attacked one lone Baneling that he sent first. So this Baneling died. All of these 5 Banelings that were backing it up, he made a really convenient little diagram for me right there to show what I was talking about. Oh! Ugh. That is why Banelings are good against saturated mineral lines. Anyway, Sheth just took his 5 Banelings and hit this big group of roaches. And it didn't kill the group of roaches, but it weakened them severely so that he could just bring in a small group of Lings and kill in an even amount of almost an even amount of roaches, making his attack pretty cost-effective. I imagine that would work in larger scale battles too. Baneling landmines are always good in really any matchup. Oh, I'm missing a lot. HashWreck is being very active with these infestors. I can't believe I just missed that. But, I mean, Mike was kind of my spotter, so I guess I got spoiled with not needing to look at the minimap that much. But again, these infestors being extremely pesky, Tweeka can't really expand anywhere. But luckily for Tweeka, he still has a fair amount of minerals in his base, and they're all decently spread out. HashWreck is mining from his base that has 2 mineral patches with lots of minerals on them, and then several that have almost none. So I'm not entirely sure how that bad of spread happens in a ZVZ. I mean, as a Zerg player, not, I guess a ZVZ doesn't really matter. I really like this setup by Tweeka, by the way. Spore Crawler spots, Spine Crawler kills bad things, and I'm not too sure. I mean, Zerglings are always going to be good in this matchup, but if HashWreck would just keep a couple infestors in his base and let them charge up on energy, they would be so effective against these Zerglings. If you get a good group or a good fungal growth on them, you can stop the Zerglings and kill them before they even get to you, and that only costs you energy. And I am just all over the place with the mouse. So, HashWreck barely going to hold off this one. This is a very, very close ZVZ. I really enjoy this play. Not too sure why he's not pushing. Okay, he is going to continue that attack. Could pick off the queen, gets the queen. These Zerglings are going to chill at the base and do nothing while these Zerglings come in and be pissed off. HashWreck has no upgrades while Tweeka has the +1 attack, which is going to largely favor Tweeka, especially in these larger numbers. So, not too sure why Tweeka keeps engaging these broodlings when, especially with Zerglings, you should just run away. HashWreck is building a group of roaches, and if he hugs the layer, he could be okay. Ah, roaches, where are you going? How much did I miss up here? I missed a lot. So these totally cleaning out everything in Tweeka's base. Tweeka has no more workers, no more way to collect any sort of money. So it is just going to be Zerglings versus keeping HashWreck from expanding anymore. So he needs to get this base down. He needs to get the next base down. This drone is going to harvest enough minerals to do some work. Unfortunately for Tweeka, he has no idea that this is going on. All that he knows is there are some infestors up in his business that are causing him some serious headaches. If I were HashWreck at this point, of course HashWreck has no way of knowing that Tweeka doesn't have enough minerals to build workers. So his logic isn't all that bad, now that I kind of slow down and think about it. But Tweeka is trying to figure out where he could possibly be. And this is all Tweeka has. Just these Zerglings. And he needs to keep them alive as long as possible. Picks off one drone, which is a good kill for him. Because if he does find this, he can kill this off. Tweeka won't have enough to do all that much. And from there, it's just... Aw, Tweeka, you can see the creep. You should know what's going on. Oh, just It's not looking good for Tweeka, and here comes a bunch of bad. This game is going to come down to the wire. Needs to group his lings back up. All of his lings are spread out. Group your lings back up, Tweeka. Tweeka has no control group set. Not for his Zerglings. It looks like he's going to finally try to clean up these infestors, and if he does, that would be huge for him. Because then HashWreck doesn't have anything to defend his base. He's got these spine crawlers everywhere. If he can get these infestors, he's going to get the infestors. That is huge. I'm not too sure why he didn't do that so long before. HashWreck says no. He knows that that's not good. But, I mean, Tweeka knows that he hasn't been revealed yet, so that's not good either. HashWreck has this queen. What else does he have? 2 Zerglings somewhere. And that Zergling finally finding... I really want to know where those Zerglings are. I'm sorry. Oh! Okay, I am only at 11 minutes, so I should be good to finish the rest of this game. Okay, I'm just gonna let it be understood that there are 2 Oh, okay, they're just Zerglings that are. No, they're not Zerglings that are in production. I can see the ones that are in production. This is not good. I am failing. I swear I checked there. He swears he checked there. This is not going to end well for Tweeka. Needs to get the surround. Is going to lose all of these Zerglings. That is going to be it for Tweeka. He's going to get that queen, but then that is going to be it. Very well played, bro, and very well played it was indeed. I don't really have much time to break this down, unfortunately. And this goes on for another minute, so I'm going to try to break this down as it goes. He's got no cash. What I think it came down to, both of them played pretty well. Tweeka's biggest issue was he never teched out of that Ling Bane, which can be tempting in this matchup because it's so effective in the early game. It's just like you get kind of an understanding that Ling Bane will be good all the time, which is not the case. When someone has Roach Infester, you normally want to stop doing Ling Bane. But I mean, not HashWreck, Tweeka didn't stop doing Ling Bane. And another thing that kind of messed him up was he allowed those infestors to stay in his base for so long without cleaning them up, even though he had to have had this the whole time, because I was watching and he's had 10 minerals for probably a good 5 minutes. So he could have cleaned those up at any time, but just was trying to run around the base to find him. And then at one point he ran past this and should have seen the creep all over here. And I mean, I checked his vision and he could see the creep up and down the ramp. So he should have checked. Just little minor things, more to do with scouting and countering than other mistakes that I've been pointing out in some of the other games. So I'm going to have to cut the cast right now. So bye.